Ooh. Vroom. What's up? Welcome back to Race 164. My name is Dan, and on today's episode of Is It Fast, we are checking out the brand new for 2025 Hot Wheels Formula One series. We'll take a detailed look at it. I'll give you my thoughts, and then, as always, we'll put it on the speedway and find out if it's fast. All right, let's take a look at this thing. This one, obviously, is the Oracle RedBull car. Ultra recognizable, been winning a lot lately on the Formula One circuit. I don't watch much Formula One, but even I know that this is, Max Verstappen's livery. And let me just say, right off the bat, that for $2 Canadian, this thing is phenomenal. Like, obviously, there's a few areas where the detail is lacking a little bit, but let me just be clear. For $2, come on. This is pretty unreal. So we got the nice RedBull paint scheme. You can see it here. The major sponsors are represented pretty well. The tempo is on pretty straight. You can see up here. It's misaligned just a little bit. But again, for $2, I'm not going to complain. On the package, you can see a sponsor here on the spoiler, and that is not present on the actual car, which is, again, not really a big deal, but it probably wouldn't have been hard for them to do that. I love this front splitter or spoiler, nose cone thing, whatever you call it. Like, look at the way the blue paint, I can feel the steps. It does have those steps in it, like the multi-layered sort of nose wing, whatever you call it in Formula One. So there isn't actually any space in there like there would be on the real car. But the way the paint highlights those sharp edges looks really, really good, in my opinion. Yellow rims look cool. Really, all the blue paint is a nice glossy color. The black part of the casting falls a little flat, but for $2, come on. I don't know what the bottom of an F1 car looks like, but this is kind of cool. I mean, you're not going to look at it that much. I got some neat little grooves for airflow when you're racing at a high rate of speed. The halo looks good, like this section here, like right in front of your face if you're driving. Obviously, it looks way thicker than it does on the actual car, but it's a mainline Hot Wheels release. Like, what are they going to do? Like, there's no way they can cast it to be much smaller than that, I don't think. So I'm pretty happy with it. From the profile view, it definitely looks good. I'm seeing one major issue, though, that I don't like. And you can come at me if you disagree. But whatever these things are here, right at the front wheels, they are way too big. If you look on the package, it's this paper thin little fender thing here on the inner sidewall and curls up just a little bit over the top of the front tires. And I get that they're trying to add realism and include every part of the car, but those are so big and chunky. If you look at the car from the front, it's really all you see. Like, it takes away from the aerodynamics of the car. Even on the profile view, you just kind of have these funny branches sticking up on the front. So in my personal opinion, I think it would look better without those completely. I realize they're part of the car, but you hardly even notice them in real life. So if they were just completely absent on the Hot Wheels version, that would be okay with me. In fact, could probably cut them off because it looks like they're just part of the plastic. And you could probably just snip them right off and it wouldn't affect the structure of the car, I don't think, in any way. Another thing I see here on the picture, it says RedBull here across the front, Red Bull and some other stuff. And that front wing is black. Here on this, it's blue. But again, At $2, that is just being nitpicky. Just the fact that this exists as a mainline Hot Wheels release gives it like a really great review, honestly, because if you want a diecast F1 car, number one, it's probably not going to be 1/64th scale. Number two, it's probably going to cost you $10 to $15. Number three, it's not going to be as fast as this at all. If you have a track that it fits on, it's probably going to have rubber tires and it's not going to roll as fast as this. So the little wee issues I have found with it really don't matter at all because it's a Hot Wheels mainline, fairly true to form Formula One car. And they're releasing the whole roster. As far as I know, like all the Formula One cars are coming out like this. And there's even a 5-pack. That's unreal. It'd be really cool if they could do that for other series too, like NASCAR or sprint cars or IndyCar or like name your favorite race car series here. And it'd be cool to see them do this. Maybe not necessarily the entire field of drivers, but a good chunk of them anyway. If they can do it for Formula One, I don't see why they couldn't do it for some of the other major racing series. Now to answer the biggest question. Is it fast? We're about to find out. We'll put it on the speedway with the Pro Stock start gate, and if it can't finish a lap, we'll turn up the angle. All right, here we go. Formula One in the Freedom Shed. Oh, here we go. Oh, pretty slow on the second half of the lap here. That's interesting. That's a recent trend here on the Speedway. Usually if a car is going to struggle, it's going to be in turns 1 and 2. Lately, they've been slower cars struggle getting out of turn 4. And could be the cold weather here. There's lots of environmental factors that could be playing a role in this recent trend. But anyways, let's go ahead and crank up the angle on the start gate and we'll see how this can do as a super stock. All right, super stock pass number 1 for the Red Bull Oracle F1 car. Better, but not great. Here we go, attempt number 2 from the outside lane. Looking better from the outside lane. It doesn't like the exit. It does not like the exit of turn 4. Maybe I need to fix something here. All right, I'll fiddle with the track a little bit, and we'll get out the super stock bracket and see what I can do against those 4 cars. All right, here's how the bracket currently looks. We got the Dark Horse Mustang in 4th, been struggling lately. Then the GTD Mustang recently slid down to 3rd by the hands of G-Roy, sitting in 2nd. And the 83 Silverado still at the top. So first up, we got Red Bull Formula One taking on the Dark Horse Mustang. Ladder bracket racing is very simple. You beat the car above you, you move up to his spot, and you keep trying to climb and beat the guy above you. And here in the Freedom Shed, you have to win from the outside lane. Okay, here they come. Oh, the Formula One car bullies its way. That is not something I have seen in Formula One racing. The Dark Horse is spun out here at the inside of turn 1 and 2. Usually Formula One drivers are trying their hardest not to touch each other's cars on the track. And that was something new. But nobody finished, so we got to run it again anyway. The Red Bull car, I guess we'll just call him Max, tries to block the Mustang way too early and successfully pulls in front of him, but they both just lose too much speed and the race is invalid. All right, attempt number 2, here they come. This time, clean pass from the Formula One car, and he will take the W. The Dark Horse is stuck in turn 3 and 4. Something happened to him on the backstretch. We'll take a quick look at that replay. Nice start out of the Red Bull car. Clean block this time on the front stretch. And then just pulled away from there, looking pretty good. The Mustang went into a 4-wheel slide at the exit of turn 2, put it into the wall, and then didn't have the speed to finish the lap. So Red Bull takes the win and moves up to challenge the Mustang GTD. Excuse me, I mean GTD. All right, here we go. Sparkly Mustang versus Red Bull, door to door into turn 1. Oh, hit the track there with my hand, and Red Bull is gonna take the win. Oh, the GTD landed here in the shutdown zone first, but did not cross the line after falling off the track. Some pretty aggressive driving on display here from the Red Bull car. Not indicative of Formula One racing at all. Running the GTD off the inside of the track. So Oracle Red Bull takes the win, and they are moving up to challenge for second place against G-Roy, the Buick Grand National. All right, 2 Ford products down. Let's see what Red Bull can do against General Motors. Here they come. G-Roy leads through 1 and 2, 3 and 4. And old G-Roy is going to hold on to second place on the Super Stock bracket. If it seems like I'm kind of excited, it's because I am, because I've said it before, that's currently my favorite casting. Old G-Roy, hold and serve, gonna challenge for number 1. Red Bull has to settle for 3rd today, but pretty good showing. Now it's time for this bad boy to once again challenge the 83 Silverado. Could this be the day somebody finally dethrones the square body pickup? I doubt it, but we'll see. All right, here we go. G-body versus square body. Let's do it. And the pickup leads through turn 1 and 2 like a rocket, as always. Solid win for the Silverado. It just looks so much faster. Like, it seems like it shouldn't even be in this class. But if you put it on the Pro Stock start gate, it doesn't finish a lap. It's an enigma, that truck. But hey, it is winning races here in the Super Stock category. So after tonight's racing, this is what the Super Stock ladder looks like. The Mustang GTD slid down to the bubble in 4th place, sparkling and glittering all the way. Team Oracle Red Bull made some noise on their channel debut, moving into 3rd place. G-Roy successfully defended the runner-up position. And the blue square body, which still doesn't have a name, feel free to leave a comment if you got a cool name idea for this truck. Leaves no shadow of a doubt that it is the fastest thing in the Super Stock class once again. And we had to say goodbye to the beautiful Mustang Dark Horse. Finally got kicked off the Super Stock ladder, unfortunately. This is one of my favorite castings out of the recent releases. Like, there's so much good detail on this thing. I'm a little sad to see it go. Maybe I can soup it up and we'll see it again on the track someday. Before I wrap up this video, I just want to say thank you to all of you, because you may have noticed my my last video, 10 cars that I think deserve to become Hot Wheels, did really, really well. At the time of this recording, it's at like 4,000 views, I think, which is really good for me, especially after only like a day and a half or 2 days of it being up. And but the craziest thing is the subscribers it's brought in. Like, I'm just overwhelmed. Thank you all so much. Since the start of this channel, my biggest day ever was 12. 2 or 3 times I've got 12 subscribers in one day, and that's phenomenal. Well, yesterday I got like, I don't know, 100. And I was completely blown away. Like, I went from a little over 900 subscribers to over 1,000. And I'm so grateful and overwhelmed and not at all prepared. Because I really wanted to do a 1,000 subscriber giveaway. And I'm not ready yet. Because I was on track for that to happen in like 3 or 4 months. And now here we are. I'm over 1,000. And yeah, no giveaway ready, but it's in the works, so that's coming soon, hopefully within, I don't know, 3 or 4 videos, see how fast I can pull it all together. But yeah, I just want to say thank you so much. I'm overwhelmed by the feedback. It was a fun video to make. I had a feeling it would do well. I didn't know it would do that well. So yeah, I just wanted to say thank you. And I'm so excited to be over 1,000 subscribers. I have so many ideas for this channel. It's just cool to think that, like, we're probably going to be able to do most of them eventually. So yeah, I'm ecstatic. Feels like a big milestone. My wife is super excited for me. She's awesome. She's so supportive of this hobby of mine. So thank you all so much. I don't yeah, I don't know. I don't really have the words yet because, like I said, I'm not prepared for this. So when I do the 1,000 subscriber giveaway thing, maybe my thoughts will be a little more in order and I can express my gratitude a little better. But for now, all I have is just a great big thank you. But that is it for now. Stay tuned. I've got lots of great content coming your way. Super excited about what the future is holding here for this silly little show. But that's it for today. So thank you so much for watching. And don't forget, Jesus loves you, and so do I. And I'll see you next time right here on Race 164. Vroom!